All right, back in the news with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles, bishops of the great millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the sincere believers, the hopeful elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, listening and learning. FBI and DHS release another warning regarding threats to public safety during holiday season. So the scriptures already tell us that in the last days perilous times shall come. You're going to see a lot of danger. You're going to see a lot of violence, a lot of mischievous things that are going to be happening all over the earth, but mainly here in America, known as Babylon the Great in the Bible. Okay, you're going to be seeing the utmost wickedness go on here because this place is set to be judged. So ahead of the holiday season, the FBI and the DHS are warning to be alert for false flag attacks, violence, potentially. Okay, so the fact that they're warning about this, they know these things are coming. And I believe you had the head, Salaki, I believe you had the head of the DHS come out just the other day and say that he's never seen so many blinking lights before. And those blinking lights he's referring to are, potential terror attacks, danger, you see. And he said that it's all lined up right now. The migrant crisis, you have Gurga troops in America, you have sleeper cells, okay, you have a lot of people in here that have been let in deliberately that are going to be agent provocateurs of chaos. So just keep your head on a swivel this holiday season going into 2024. And I'll read this in Ephesians 5:13. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. So now is high time for the Israelites to awake out of sleep. Okay, we're at the end of this captivity. We're at the end of America. Things are about to go down. Okay, arise from the dead. And Christ shall give thee light. See that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Verse 16, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So knowing that the days are evil, we need to redeem the times. We need to consider all this going on in the earth and know that there's only a short time left. All right. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning the public of heightened threats to public safety this holiday season and through winter associated with the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. The FBI says it is closely monitoring threats to public safety during the holiday season, which may be amplified by the war. And news just came out today. What was it? The United Nations General Assembly, they actually voted to demand an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. But even if that does happen, that's still not going to stop what's about to happen in America, because the movie that came out some years ago, Purge election year, they're pretty much broadcasting to you what's about to take place in America. All right, so it's about to be a purge-like scenario. A lot of people are about to be judged. It's going to be a lot of death on top of many other things that are going to occur. You see, so, the hopeful elect of the Lord, now is not the time to be in the world. Now is not the time to be sleeping. Now is the time to be, to have your eyes open and be in tune with the spirit, be in tune with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so that we can properly navigate through these perilous times. We take all potential threats seriously and will work closely with our law enforcement partners to determine their credibility, share information, and take appropriate investigative action. The Bureau says in a PSA, per an assessment from the FBI and DHS, ongoing tensions related to the conflict between Israel and Hamas likely heighten the threat of lone actor violence targeting large public gatherings throughout the winter. including holiday-related faith-based New Year's Eve and First Amendment protected events related to the conflict. Let's get some more points out of this. The Bureau points to terrorist media organizations having called for lone actor attacks in the United States, as well as racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists having called for violence and celebrated attacks on the Jewish community. So we see they're forecasting a lot of stuff is about to go down. And we're pretty much at the end of 2023, but we know for sure in 2024, stuff is about to go down on another level. Okay, because the projection that scholars have come out with is that an empire really only lasts about 250 years. And come 2026, America will be at its 250-year marker. So it's no wonder you're seeing all of what you have going on in America and in the European Union. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos that's happening, and things are going to get worse. Okay, you think things is bad right now, just wait until January 2024. Okay, it's going to be complete hell that's going on the earth, and really all of what's been set up is mischief. Okay, this is deliberate. This has been planned because they want people to be in a state of fear so that they will ultimately relinquish their rights, give power unto the elites so that they can have a sense of normalcy, so that they can have peace and safety, comfort. All right. But what does that go into? Proverbs 24 and verse 8, he that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. And he, who is he, the chief person that devises to do evil? Well, that's Esau Edom, because he has control over the earth. He has control over America, right? So all these mischievous things, do you honestly think that all these false flag attacks and, you know, all this violence going on, if Esau Edom didn't want it to happen, then it wouldn't be happening. Okay, just like how Esau went in, he infiltrated the Black Panther movement. He infiltrated, you know, various other organizations, you know, put crack in Israelite communities. He knows what's going on. Okay, Esau got cameras everywhere in America. So you can't tell me that if they didn't want these things to happen, it wouldn't happen. No, they would shut it down immediately. But they don't want to do that because this is the Great Reset agenda. Okay. Yeah. Micah 7:3. They that may do evil with both hands earnestly, the prince asketh, and the judge asketh for reward, and the great man he uttereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up. Okay. And what is the mischievous desire of the powers that be? Well, it's to create a satanic, completely authoritarian rulership upon the planet Earth, in which you will have no rights, you will have no say so. You're basically going to own nothing and be happy, like Klaus Schwab said. Whatever the elites give you, you're going to be happy to have that. All right, because you're going to be coming out of so much hell that you're not going to know any other way. Okay, because, you know, right now people want the world to go back to how it was pre-pandemic, but that's never going to happen again. All right, once, you know, at the start of 2020, that was the start of a new world. That was the start of a new agenda being brought forth, and this is what you're seeing play out. You know, so when the FBI and the DHS release a holiday warning of heightened violence, threats to public safety, we need to take that seriously, you know, because this is not something to be brushed over and glossed over. I mean, look at who's telling you this. the FBI and the DHS, okay, two of the most corrupt organizations that exist within America. So if they're telling you this, it's actually going to be much worse than what they're projecting. All right. And that leads me here, because this is another threat to public safety. This pretty much in the same subject as what the FBI and DHS are talking about. Okay, which is what? An attack on the American power grid, a blackout. Okay, which what's going to come from a blackout? in the dead of winter, if there's a blackout, people are not going to have heat. They're not going to have food. All right. Many people are going to suffer through this. Okay. Now, remember months back during the summer when these senators and governors, they were given what, satellite phones. Why were they given satellite phones? Because they know, like I said, man, all these people that are in government, they're in the know already of what's about to come. This is why the FBI, Slovakia, and the DHS can tell you to prepare for terrorist attacks on American soil. They already know what's going on in America. They're well aware, but they want it to go down. But they were given satellite phones so that when the power does go out, remember years ago, Joe Biden spoke of what? A dark winter. I believe in 2021, he mentioned that. But this is looking like the year going into 2024 where this dark winter is actually going to take place. And when it does, go into 2nd Ezra 15, it's going to be what? Seditions among men. Okay, friends are going to be fighting one against another like enemies. Okay, they're going to be going house to house with the sword, looking for all what they can spoil. These are the times that we're in. Perilous times, dangerous times, uncertain times. And this blackout is only going to add to that. So let me go ahead and play this TikTok video and be back.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brandon Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security's cybersecurity agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation Army in China have accessed the computer systems of about 24 critical entities.
And this is all very convenient that this information is coming out now, right? In the wake of this new Netflix movie that everyone's talking about, titled Leave the World Behind, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend that you see it because it was produced by Barack Obama and Michael Obama. Okay, so they're insiders. They're also in the know, you see. But they openly showed you in that movie, spoiler alert, by the way, they openly showed you in that movie that the whole East Coast suffered a blackout, and they aired it on what? CNN. So we already know that, you know, this is all an agenda that's rolling forth. Now, they're going to blame different people. Now, I'm not saying that China is not involved in this, but at the same time, the government knows that Chinese military age men are also in America. So if it is going down, if there is an attack on the power grid by the Chinese, well, the Americans know about it, and they're not doing anything to stop it. Okay, that's the point. So China could be being used as a boogeyman. Okay, Iran also. They were warning about Iran performing cyber attacks on America. You know, Russian hackers. You know what I'm saying? You know, whether all of this is true or not, we know that this plays into the hands of the elites because they want a blackout. They want chaos to ensue, and then they're going to bring their order. Okay, so even if it is an organic attack from a foreign nation, or this is just being used as a boogeyman, all right, to bring these things forth by the American government themselves, either way, it all works out for the elites because they're not going to let a good crisis go to waste. That's the point. Okay, you see comments here, not us seeing this coming for months. Biden's administration has destroyed our country. Yeah, and America is done. Okay, people know. See, look, leave the world behind. See, I just mentioned that. That's the spirit. Leave the world behind sounds familiar. See, and yeah, it was directed by Obama. So you see, all of what's going on is to what? Induce fear. Okay, it's to make people bend to their knees. That movie, Leave the World Behind, is executive directed by the Obamas. Yeah, and somebody said it's a book that was made a while back. So yeah, man, these devils, they about to come with it, and like I said, it's very convenient that this information is coming out at the same time because that movie I believe was released about a couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it's very fitting that now all of a sudden this movie was released and now this is happening. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're in this truth, then you know there's no such thing as a coincidence, but everything is according to the Lord's will. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. 26, men's hearts failing them for fear. And when this blackout comes, men's hearts are going to fail them for fear. People are not going to have social media. They're not going to have their favorite reality TV show. Okay? They're not going to be able to communicate with people. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much like everyone's going to be on their own. People going to bug out. And people are bugged out now. So imagine how much more in a critical scenario where society at large is in chaos. A lot of death, a lot of confusion is going to envelop the land. All right. And the only ones that are really going to have stability in that scenario are the true men and women of the Lord, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, the scriptures say that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding shall be the stability of that time. So in a world where everyone's bugged out, everyone's panicking, things are chaotic, Lord willing, we're going to be in a different spirit. We're going to be calm. We're going to be operating and walking in the spirit. Knowing that these things were coming, because we've been teaching this for the longest time. So when these things do happen, it's really going to comfort us in the spirit to know that the words that we were bringing out, according to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, did not go out in vain. Okay, so we understand it's going to come a time where the game is going to be running. Okay, it's not, we not going to be preaching and prophesying no more. That time is going to be done, and people are going to be searching for a vision of the prophet. They're going to desire to know what's going on, and all those that didn't take heed to the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai through the mouth of the prophets, well, they're going to be in a very pitiful case in that time. Okay, they're not going to understand what they should do. They're not going to know who they should call on. They're not going to have any comfort. Which, when you have no comfort, you're pretty much food for all these predators, man. Okay, because you have to understand when these certain things happen. Okay, when there's a famine, when there's blackouts, when there's extreme heat, extreme cold. Okay, you have foreign troops on American soil, martial law. That's going to be a very wild time. Understand? There's going to be no law in order for a short period of time, but when the lights do come back on, it's going to be a completely new world. Okay, people's bank accounts are going to be wiped out. In order to access the internet again, you're going to have a digital ID. See, all these things are coming down the pipeline, and right now, many people are not even paying attention. Okay, this movie, Leave the World Behind, has been out for a couple weeks, and people are just now talking about it. Okay, but bottom line, men's hearts are going to fail them for fear when these things come on the earth. Okay, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. For the hopeful elect, okay, for the 1/3 remnant, Lord willing, I'll be of that number, and you brothers and sisters listening as well. May the Lord have mercy on us to be of that elect number. But we know what time it is. See, we know that our redemption is close. that, this, story is about to come to an end. Our captivity is coming to an end. So this is for us to lift up our heads and for us to praise the Lord, for us to rejoice. Because ultimately, man, judgment is coming to these nations. Judgment is coming to America. People are about to get what they've labored for. And what they've labored for is in wickedness. Okay, they haven't stored up their treasures in heaven. They've stored up their treasures on the earth, but it's all through what? Ill-gotten gain, lies, deceit, murder. Okay, slander. Okay, all wickedness. So guess what? The scriptures say, of course, that whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For God is not mocked. Okay, so you're not going to mock the Lord by thinking you're going to do all this wickedness and you're just going to get away scot-free, right off into the sunset, and you're going to have a happily ever after. No, that's not how it's going to happen. See, the wicked are about to be punished. All right, and hey, in that day when all hell does break loose, when the shit does hit the fan, the only people that's going to have stability and comfort and protection are the men and women of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Everybody else, you're going to be fooled. Okay, everybody else, you're going to be searching. You're going to be found wanting. All right. So I'll go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully this was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Until next time, shalom to the elect.